And we're live. Welcome back for another stream. How are you today? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had an excellent week. We're back for another Friday deadline as well. I think we've got one more Friday deadline next week, and then we're back to the Saturday deadlines. What do you guys prefer? Do you like the Friday deadlines, or do you like the Saturday morning deadlines? I'm not much of a morning person, so I don't mind the Friday deadline. It's quite nice to have some footy on Friday night as well. And I can afford to go out with mates, don't have to worry about not having a late one or hangovers for Saturday morning. But yeah, good game tonight as well, by the way. Chelsea v Luton. Scoreline predictions? Any new Jackson owners in the chat? I'm one myself. I sold João Pedro for Jackson this week. Is the music coming through? Not sure I can hear that. Let me check. Next one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, is that loud enough? I can never tell because I've got earpods with like noise cancellation. Right, 3-1, 4-0 to Chelsea, 5-0. Wouldn't mind a 5-0 as long as Chilwell and Jackson's involved. I reckon pretty much all of you have got players involved tonight, right? So that's exciting. Last weekend it was what was it? Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United. So I tuned in. I was like, "Come on then, Turner, let's go." And then his clean sheet got wiped, and it was over before it had begun. But tonight got two players involved. More exciting fixture. Obviously Luton back from the blank last game week. So I mentioned this week in videos actually. I think people have forgotten how much of a team to target Luton are. So I agree with a lot of those predictions. Carl reckons 4-0. I reckon 4-0 as well. It's at Stamford Bridge. They need 3 points. They need a convincing result in front of the home fans. So I think it's going to be a pretty comfortable one as well. Master says, so you went for Nico early. Unlucky with Shaw. Yeah, so I sold João Pedro for Jackson before the price rise. I've got 2 transfers. I don't think I'm going to make a second one. But yeah, Shaw is just so annoying. I was going to start Shaw this week, but now I have to decide between Gabriel and Udogie. So that's annoying. I've already got 2 issues this season, and we're 2 weeks in. So Shaw's out for like apparently several months. Gabriel obviously benched twice in a row. I still haven't decided who I'm going to start. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know in chat. Gabriel or Udogie. Any other Gabriel owners? What's your plan? I could sell him, but I feel like I'm going to want to have 2 transfers next week. Next week I could sell any of Martinelli, Bruno, Rashford, Mitoma. I could make 2 moves like Foden and Mbeumo, or I could do Shaw to Trippier and Rashford to Mbeumo or Foden. There's so many ways I could go next week, so that's why I kind of want to take 2 transfers. I don't really need to sell Shaw right now. Runce says, don't underestimate Kyrgios starting ahead of Gabriel. That's exactly it. I literally wrote down loads of notes today trying to like work out what could happen. So we've got Timber out. So that means that Gabriel's odds were likelier. But then we had Tomiyasu start last week. But then now Tomiyasu suspended. But that still doesn't mean that Gabriel's guaranteed. That's the problem. It could be Kvyat, who's a left-footed centre-back. He has played in left-back even. Not often, like 10 or so games, 10, 20 games. So it could be a back 4 of like Zinchenko, Kvyat, Saliba, White. Or it could be, he could even line up something like Zinchenko, Saliba, White and Partey. But that might be a bit too much. Probably even a bit too exposed with both Zinchenko and Partey starting. But they could both invert, so I really don't know. As it stands, I've got Gabriel starting, but I might change my mind by the time we get to the deadline. Absolute nightmare, that Gabriel Saliba swing. Brutal for those of us that missed that. And I sympathise with anyone in time zones that couldn't catch that leak in Gameweek 1, because that's like 11 points I'm down already. So for me, that's like a 2 million rank difference just on that one thing. So fine margins. Yeah, I'll turn the music down. Didn't realise it was so loud. Hopefully that's better now. I can barely hear it at all on mine, so it's hard to work out how much it's coming through your end. Is Eze a sell if he blanks? Yeah, if he blanks, he's a sell. I think he's alright to play against Brentford. And then, yeah, he's a pretty obvious sell. And Mbeumo, Foden. not too late to hop on either of those this week or next. So yeah, that's where I'm at with my team. I've made the one transfer. I've got another one banked. I've got nothing in the bank, but there's loads of ways I could go next week if I just ride out this week without spending a transfer on a defender. So that's the last decision, Gabriel or Udogie. And then I'm going to have to sort out Shaw maybe next week, maybe beyond that, because I think he's got a long-term injury. H Monkey, is that Hindi Monkey? He says, Yo Focal, what do you think to Rashford, João Pedro, to Foden and Jackson? Yeah, I like both those moves. I mean, I can understand why people are against selling Rashford this week because it's Forest at home. But Ten Hag said that Højlund is not back yet, so we're probably going to see Rashford up top again. You know, maybe there's a chance it's Martial up top, Rashford left. If that's the only way you can fund it, then I like it. If you can just do João Pedro to Jackson, I'd do that on its own. That's what I've done. But if that's the only way to make those moves, then I would do both, yeah. I like those moves a lot. Foden, I really want Foden. I feel like Sheffield United away, it's going to be like a 4-0 type result, you know. So, and he looked absolutely quality against Newcastle. He's created more chances than anyone in the league this season. So, love the Foden pick, and he's in my thinking from next game week. I did consider Martinelli to Foden this week, but I'll probably leave that as well because, you know, it's Fulham at home. They're rock bottom for XGC. Fantasy Football Chronicles, thanks for the super chat. He says, are we sleeping on the City defence? I don't think people are sleeping on City defence. A lot of people are bringing in Ruben Diaz, Vardiol. I know some are even looking at Edison. 2 clean sheets on the bounce. I think a lot of people are looking at them, especially those selling Shaw and Gabriel. So, yeah, I think Ruben Diaz is my favourite of the City defenders, but Vardiol is an interesting one as well for 0.5 mil less. Razfan, thanks for the 7 months. He says, what do you think about Bowen for the next 2 game weeks? I'll be honest, I haven't looked at Bowen whatsoever. Who have they got? They play Brighton away, Luton away. Yeah, the Luton fixture's not bad. I wouldn't be bringing Bowen in. If you've got him, I can understand holding, but I definitely wouldn't be bringing him in. There's a lot of people I'd put ahead of him in terms of buying. And Bumo is like an absolute no-brainer ahead of Bowen. But yeah, I think he's fine for the next 2 based on those fixtures, yeah. Especially that Luton one. And then you get rid when he's got City home, Liverpool away, Sheffield United, Newcastle. Who should James and Shaw be replaced with? Well, the obvious answer is Chilwell, if you haven't got him. Luton at home, Nottingham Forest at home, Bournemouth away. He's the obvious one. After that, Saliba I still think is a very good pick. Arsenal near top on the clean sheet odds this week. You could go down to like a Colwill, Henry, Gusto even, all the way down to 4 mil. There's a lot of good replacements there. I think those are all strong options. Kenny D says, is it worth a free hit to get in Chelsea and Man City? No, I would definitely save the free hit. 100% save it. The free hit's best used in double or blank game weeks, and those will come way later in the season. So if you still, yeah, save your free hit. Don't use it now. I know it's a good game week on paper for Chelsea and Man City, but I would save it. There's every chance that Man City, maybe Chelsea as well, get a double game week later in the season. They'll probably get multiple, to be honest. So I would save your free hit 100%. Gabriel or Henry? Henry. Is Visser any good? Visser's very good. Yeah, I think he's top in the league for expected goals. Excluding penalties. I think Mbumo's top, including pens, because he's taken 2. Shafiq says, is this the final lineup, sir? The only question mark is Gabriel or Udogie. At the moment, I've got Gabriel. I really can't decide. Maybe I'll do a poll. I might do a poll now and then maybe another one before the deadline to see if your minds have changed or not. Who to start? So maybe before I click, ask the community. So Gabriel, he's been benched twice, but Tomiyasu is suspended, which means he's at least a bit likely to start. There's still a chance that he doesn't. It could be Kiwior, for example. And then Udogie, he's got worse clean sheet odds. He is a very attacking player. But yeah, likely to concede basically. So that's where I'm at with those two. So get your votes in on that. I'm interested to know what you think. Andre in the chat, how we doing, mate? Andre's the one who developed the FPL.page website. If you guys haven't seen it, FPL.page. Probably can't see it all here unless I zoom out. It's completely free. We've got loads of good stuff on here. We've got like top 10k stats, effective ownership, the bonus points. This is updated live during games. Price changes, disaster of the week. So this manager scored 40 points, and they got a red arrow from rank 5 to 5k. They've got the Players League, expected data, top 10 transfers, and we just added dark mode. Check that out. And now you can't see it, but in the top right corner you can select like standalone players for widgets. So we've got like a virtual league here of all the Premier League footballers that play FPL. It's actually really interesting, and sometimes they inadvertently leak stuff. But Trippier's top right now out of all of them. He's fifth. He's 48k overall. So yeah, FPL.page if you want to check that out. Completely free. And big shout out to Andre who developed it. Saliba or Henry? Saliba. John says, how much did you pay him? Nothing. I asked him, I was like, how much then to get this to work on this together? And he said nothing. Obviously it's like a great experience for Andre. It's good for his portfolio, but he didn't want anything for it. So I'm forever grateful. And I'm hoping to fly him over to England. He's from Malta, Liverpool fan. Hopefully fly him over for a Liverpool match at my expense. Have to give him something. Eze or João Pedro? I would start Eze between those two. We've got João Pedro in the news roundup actually, so let's cover off all the press conference news from today and everything that you might have missed, because there's actually loads here. I think it's been the busiest day in terms of presses. So Sheffield United, I know some of you have been asking about Baldock. He's back in training. Obviously you wouldn't start him this week anyway, but that's good news for Baldock owners. Archer signed for Sheffield United from Aston Villa. So we've got a potential 4.5 mil starting forward, one to keep an eye on. Man City news, I think there are people asking about Bernardo Silva before I hit go live. It wasn't Pep, I was going to say Pep. I've forgotten who it was, this guy's name. Is it Lilo or something? One of the coaches. He said Bernardo Silva trained and should be fit for the game on Sunday. I think that was everything from that one. Man United news, Rasmus Holland has trained with the team but won't be involved in Gameweek 3. And then in case you missed it, Luke Shaw and Mason Mount both out injured, and the former will be sidelined for longer, so a long-term injury for sure. So annoying this, as a Shaw owner. I did get the clean sheet out of him in Gameweek 1, but it was only 5 points because he got booked. And then I was going to start him this week, home to Forest. I was feeling pretty good about that, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Spurs news. So Maddison picked up this injury, which came out early this week. Surprisingly, he said Madders trained today unrestricted, and added that he's going to see how he holds up, but at the moment he will be available. So Maddison has a chance of playing now, which is like very different to what we heard earlier this week. We were expecting him, well, it was 3 to 10 days, so we were almost certain that he was going to miss out, but now there's a chance he makes the game. So I was listening to the Arsenal press conference earlier, trying to piece together Gabriel's chances, and Arteta basically gave nothing away. All he said on Gabriel was, he is a really important player for us. So, useless. And that was in reference to whether he's going to be sold this window or not as well. So it wasn't even really in terms of his chances of playing. So that was a pretty useless quote. Gabriel Jesus, though, is ready to go. But only said we'll see when asked if he's going to start. So sooner than expected. And that's good news for Martinelli owners if you do have Martinelli, because Jesus is better at bringing in the wingers into the game, whereas Nketiah is that's not really his game. He's a bit more of a selfish forward, so good news for Martinelli owners at least. Trent is fit to face Newcastle after picking up a knock against Bournemouth. Konate's a doubt. Curtis Jones and Thiago are expected to return to training next week. And then lastly, a couple of Brighton quotes. So you might have seen this one already, but Enciso's picked up a long-term injury, and he's the one that competes with João Pedro. So João Pedro's chances of starting have definitely gone up based on that. Still not guaranteed, but he's much more likelier. There is still like Lallana that could play there. But yeah, João Pedro's expected minutes look better. And then De Zerbi came out and actually said, tomorrow Ferguson will play. He's in the first 11. And he said, no other team news. So Ferguson definitely starts. So it's either Welbeck starts with him, or maybe João Pedro, or maybe Lallana. But we know that Ferguson starts at least. So if any of you are playing draft, maybe go draft Ferguson if anyone's forgotten about him. Charlie says Martinelli or Eze to Mbeumo. I would say Eze between those two. Fulham are rock bottom in the league for expected goals conceded. It's only 2 games, but I wouldn't sell Martinelli before that fixture. I did think about it myself, selling Martinelli, but not this week. Might do it next week. Park Gamer says, anything on David Raya? Nothing on Raya. Obviously, he's in the squad. Maybe there's a chance he plays, actually. I reckon there's a small chance that he starts, and then Ramsdale back in for the Man United game. I think they might suit Raya more, because they're going to be in control of the game. So, yeah, we'll see. But no, nothing specifically on Raya. Anders says, how do you rate Gusto? Yeah, Gusto's a great pick. Obviously, the problem is that he's a short-term pick, but I think he's fine. If you get the next 3 out of him, Luton home, Forest home, Bournemouth away, that's more than enough. So, yeah, I like the Gusto pick. Start Gusto or Saliba? Saliba. Pedro out for Vissa. Yeah, I think that's a good transfer. I like that. I prefer Jackson and probably Alvarez if we're talking about forwards around that price bracket. But I think this is good. The thing is, he does sometimes, I think he comes off early quite often, and that's probably going to be a recurring theme. So for Mbeumo, that means that he moves up to striker for like the last 20 or so minutes. So that's why I think Mbeumo is such a great pick, plus the pens and set pieces and so on. David says you can bench one from Mitoma, Rashford, Bruno and Watkins. Who do you bench? Madison News is kind of forcing me to bench one of them. Mitoma, Rashford, Bruno and Watkins. Oh, that's tough. Oh, probably Rashford. That one's so close though. Probably Rashford. I don't know. Oh, that's tough. Who would you guys bench? Mitoma, Rashford, Bruno and Watkins. I wouldn't want to bench any of those. Probably Rashford. It's one of Rashford or Mitoma. I wouldn't bench Bruno, and I wouldn't bench Watkins. I think Rashford, because we're expecting him to play through the middle, and he's pretty ineffective there. So I would say Rashford. Nah, not Bruno. Bruno's top in the league for non-penalty expected goal involvement. So definitely not Bruno. He's been dodging points, but I feel like the points are coming from Bruno. How are you guys getting on? How are you getting on after the first 2 game weeks? What rank are you? I've had a pretty naff start because of this Gabriel business. But that's my own fault. I should have just made the move when there was that last minute news about Gabriel not starting. 200k, 2 mil. 180k, that's really good this early. Bang Bang Handoko says, start Cash or Henry, Eze or Sarr. I would start Henry and I would start Eze. 300k. 3.2 mil. Suspiciously similar to my rank. I hope you're not copying me because I've had a crap start. 55k from Jack. That's very good. 7.3k. David says, let's go Jackson. I know, I'm excited for tonight's game now. Got a lot to cheer on. Jackson and Chilwell. Scenes if we see a tweet from official FPL in a few hours. Goal. Jackson, assist Chilwell. Massive headache this week is Watkins to Jackson or not though. Have any of you done that move? I think I would do that move only if I had 2 free transfers and I had no other fires to put out. Otherwise, I don't think I would do it myself. You too, Vijay. Vijay's killing it. Aren't you the top 10k or thereabouts already? He's had a great start. Start Udogie or Colwill? I would start Colwill. I would double up. John says, where is everyone in chat from? Where are you guys from? Let us know in chat. Where are you from? Country, that is. I remember last time I asked that, it was like England, Estonia, Norway, and then someone was like, Milton Keynes. Oliver says, bench Gabriel or Estepinian and why? I would bench Gabriel 100%. Estepinian, way more attacking. 1 goal, 2 assists in his first 2 games. He's playing at home. Gabriel, we don't even know starts. 100% bench Gabriel out of those 2. Sean, thanks for the 5 gifted subs. What's this? You could be a lucky recipient of an fplfocal membership with access to exclusive perks. Do I have to click? Oh, I could be gifted memberships to my own channel. No way. Alright, well I've clicked it. I don't know who got gifted those because I asked where everyone was from and it's filled up chat. Oh, Ashman got one, Ren. I'm not sure who else got it. If you got one of those from Sean, make sure you thank him. Thanks for that, Sean. Appreciate that, mate. A lot of South Africans. Perth. I've been to Perth. I loved Perth. I'd love to go back to Australia. Bulgaria, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, Portugal, Sweden, Finland, Jamaica, Poland, Denmark, Surrey, and... Oh, who's ringing the doorbell? I'm not getting that now. Teddy, can you get the door? Nuru, thanks for the super chat. Says, Captain Chilwell, he can go crazy. You know what, did you guys see the experts video that I made this morning? One manager has gone Chilwell captain. Just one. All of the others, about 150 others went Haaland captain, but one of them's gone Chilwell captain. We'll have to do a captain poll in a minute. But I did that poll on who to start, Gabriel or Udogie. 54% Udogie, 46% Gabriel. It's not what I wanted to see as someone starting Gabriel. Maybe I should start Udogie. Oh, deadline dilemmas. Andreas, thanks for the 19 months. It says Captain Sterling, Chilwell or Jackson. Don't question how it's come to this, it's dire. Well, I am curious how it's come to that. If you're a Haaland non-owner, or if you lost a bet or something. Sterling, Chilwell or Jackson captain. I think I'd go Chilwell out of all of those. Because they're so high up on the clean sheet odds. And he's playing like a winger anyway. Mudrik's out, which is good news for all of you Chilwell owners. So he's going to be playing advanced throughout. So I actually think I'd go Chilwell. As crazy as it sounds, the captain and defender. I think I'd go Chilwell. John asks how to become a focal expert. So I decided to set like a minimum rank requirement. So that you're actually getting like good quality data, and it's minimum 2 top 10Ks or 5 or 6 top 100Ks. It's not perfect, but it's I think having rank requirements massively improves the quality of the data. Like you've seen the intro, there's like 5 of them are finished in the top 100, like 50 top 1K finishes and about 360 top 10K finishes. So it's like the best quality data you'll get anywhere. So that's why I set that. At the moment it's closed for new entrants, but I probably will open the door for more entries at some point. Always good to have as many as possible for more data, basically. Udogie or Zinchenko? I think I'd give Zinchenko the start there. I reckon Zinchenko starts. Rio says Andreas to Foden and JP. Who's JP? João Pedro to Alvarez or Shaw to a City defender? Yeah, I like... are you saying those two in combination? Yeah, Andreas to Foden. That makes perfect sense. Do that, 100%. Shaw to a City defender or João Pedro to Alvarez? I think I'd go the Alvarez one. I think you're likelier to get more out of that. Higher ceiling, basically. Like with a City defender, your ceiling's probably like 6 points. Alvarez, what's the ceiling? You know, he could walk away with a couple of returns, so I would go for the high ceiling pick. John, thanks for becoming an fplfocal member. Thank you for that, John Boltman. Appreciate that very much. Thank you, John. If any of you are interested, by the way, in supporting the channel, it's only like a couple quid. The join button below the stream, or there's a Patreon link. You get a few perks. You get a little badge by your name in the chat, in the comments on my videos. There's a private channel on Discord. You get early access to videos. Some goodies like that. And as I say, it supports the channel. But not required, totally optional. But I'm thankful for all the members that we have. Chin Lloyd says he's dropped Salah for Foden and Jackson and managed to get Alvarez in there as well. Is it too risky? You used your wild card, so you're hoping it pays off. Nice Salah for Foden. I like that a lot. And Jackson. Jackson I would definitely have on a wild card. Probably Alvarez as well, to be honest with you. If you haven't seen the experts video from earlier, one of them's got his wild card active. Oops. Just got a reminder that I'm going out tomorrow. I forgot about that. Yeah, I would have Jackson. I'd probably have Alvarez as well on the wild card. Yeah, I mean, I would double check the wildcard draft from the video earlier. It was a really good draft. He had Trippier, by the way. I would definitely have Trippier on the wildcard. I'd bench him this week, but I think Trippier is a bit of a sleeper pick. I'm looking at him from Gameweek 4. I might do Shaw to Trippier and then Rashford to Mbumo or something like that in Gameweek 4. Lee Crispy. Is it Crispy? Lee Crispy. Thanks for becoming a member as well. Appreciate that very much. Thanks, Lee. Love the name. Udogi 18-pointer incoming. Don't say that. That will actually be brutal if I've got an 18-pointer benched. I had Gabriel start in Gameweek 1 as well, and Chilwell got 7, I think. That was painful enough. Capital says 4 at the back of Estepinian, Walker, Saliba and Chilwell. I like Estepinian, Saliba and Chilwell. Walker, not so much. I think Walker's a big rotation risk. I don't think he's going to be a regular starter enough to be worth the money, so I wouldn't personally have Walker, but the other 3 I would have, yeah. Mo Omar says, hey Oscar, good to see you again for the new season. You've got Shaw, Gabriel and Bulldog. Using 1 free transfer to bring a Jackson. Should also use 1 free transfer to change the defence. It depends if you have to start. It depends who you have to start. I probably would sell. This is a dilemma I've got. See, I don't know about Gabriel. I probably wouldn't spend a transfer on it this week. But it really depends on the rest of your team. Because I could make a transfer like yourself in defence this week. But I'm personally not. I'm swerving it. And I'm going to probably spend those transfers better in midfield. But I don't know what your midfield looks like. So I'd probably just start Gabriel and save the second transfer. And then you could make 2 transfers next week. Keep your options open. You know, I like keeping the options open, like I said, of going Shaw to Trippier as a combination move, but I can't do that this week unless it's a -4. But I wouldn't do that anyway because Newcastle have got a bad fixture. So I wouldn't myself. I would just start Gabriel. Start Gusto or Pedro? Oh. I think I would start Gusto. Gusto. Just about. We still just don't know 100% that João Pedro starts. That's the thing. He probably does. I think I would go Gusto though. I've got the clean sheet odds here. I'm pretty sure Chelsea are way up there. Yeah, only City are higher. 51.5% chance. So Chelsea are likelier to keep a clean sheet than not. So I would start Gusto. He probably does start as well, João Pedro, but I like Chelsea's chances tonight. I think they keep a clean sheet. Any Chelsea lineup leaks? If we get anything, I'll let you know. I doubt we would have anything this early. We might do a bit closer to the deadline. Right, let's have a look at the scout selection for Gameweek 3, which is as follows. They've got Anana in goal, Chilwell, Estepinian, Porro. Midfield is Rashford, Saka, and Mbumo, Mitoma. Haaland captain, Jackson and Alvarez. How many have you got? Count up your team. How many have you got the same as the scout? So I've got Chilwell, Estepinian, Rashford, Saka, Mitoma. So that's 5, 6, 7 out of 11 for me. Can anyone beat 7? So FD's got 7. So does Flandy and Noah. Ian's got 9. You'll give me 10k if I buy Maguire. Is that worth it? Is that even worth it? I know what'll happen. You'll do a chargeback on the super chat and I'll be stuck with Maguire and nothing to show for it. Tom's got 6. Liam's got 10 out of 11. I mean, if you've got 7 or more, I think you're looking solid this week. But the way these first 2 game weeks have gone, you know, you never know. Last game week, I thought I looked pretty good, and it was a bit of a stinker. 11 out of 11. Start Pedro or Diaby. Vicario thoughts. I don't have much confidence in Spurs and their clean sheet potential, to be honest, so I would avoid him. Isn't he 5 mil? I think I'd rather have one of the 4.5 mil keepers, or maybe a Nana. But if I could, I'd rather have Edison out of all of them. Turns out Edison was the one after all. Sorry, let me dig out your super chat. One sec. I need to make my mind up about Gabriel and Udogie. It's driving me mad. I couldn't decide before I went live. As it stands, I've gone Gabriel, but I might change my mind on that. So, what was it? Start? No, saw that. Jackson to Watkins for -4 is Payne. 114k, not done the move yet. I wouldn't be selling Jackson to Watkins. I would go the opposite way if I had 2 transfers and nothing else to spend one on. But other than that, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I would do Watkins to Jackson if you're going the other way. But only, if, like I say, only if I had 2 transfers. Not for -4. Not worth a -4 in my opinion. I think I did do all of them. I think so. How much is Doku? I think he's 6.5 mil. Anyone able to confirm that? I mean, no one's going to have him. He'd have to be a very regular starter and hit the ground running to consider him for 6.5 mil. Rio says, here's 20k, don't buy Maguire, bench Maddison. What currency is that? IDR? Apologies, I don't know. Indonesian rupiah. How much is... Hang on, let me calculate the exchange rate. Maybe I will buy Maguire. £1. I'm not buying Maguire. Not worth it for a quid. Thanks for that, though. Appreciate that, Rio. You're benching Maddison. Yeah, Maddison's... It looked like he was a certainty to miss out, but now maybe there's a chance. If there's any Maddison owners in the chat, I'll just bring up the quote from Postacoglu. He said he trained today unrestricted, and we'll see how he holds up. But at the moment, he's available. Jackson versus Alvarez, who's better? I would give it to Jackson. Just. How crazy is that though? 2 1-pointers and he's gone up in price. A few seasons ago, I swear he would be down in price, not up after that. But I feel like everyone's much more switched on these days. Do you agree? Do you think so? It's just crazy. I'd expect him to go down, and I thought that was going to happen. And I looked at it, and I was like, "What the hell? He's rising tonight." So I moved early on him before the Chelsea press conference as well, which wasn't ideal, but felt like a calculated gamble. Do you think Watkins is being slept on? Yeah, 100%. There's every chance that those that are selling Watkins to Jackson are going to be punished for that. You know, he scored a hat-trick midweek in the Europa League qualifiers. Play Martinelli or Mitoma. Oh, that's a horrendous one. Probably Martinelli just about. Just because it's Fulham and they just look so awful defensively. I feel like it could be like a 3-4-0. Yeah, it was against Hibs. Alright, I know. But still. Foden or Maddison? Foden. Hey Focal, do I start Nketiah or Richarlison? Oh, that one's hard because we don't know what Nketiah's minutes will look like. Oh. I think Nketiah probably gets the start, and then after that I think he's a bit... might not after that because Jesus is back already. So I would say Nketiah. He probably starts this one, but then he's a bit of a risk. I think he must be up there on the goal scorer odds, isn't he? Let's have a look. Is he on there? Yeah, he is up there. 35.5% chance. To be fair, Richarlison's not far behind. That's surprising, actually. I thought Nketiah would be way higher. Haaland, by the way, 58% chance of scoring, according to the bookies, against Sheffield United. Anyone not on Captain Haaland? Who's not on Captain Haaland? Maybe I should just do a poll. Who's your captain, Haaland or not Haaland? Get your votes in on that one. Thank you, Slap It for Retail, for becoming a member. I love the name. Slap It for Retail. Thank you for your support. Thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate that very much. Slap It for Retail. Yeah, get your votes in on that poll. I think those are the only two options to have. Because after Haaland, it's like, where do you go? There's so many other options that are all, I suppose, equally good. I think like Chilwell, Jackson, Saka. I reckon Bruno and Rashford might come good. Rio says, bench one, Saka, Maddison and Mitoma. I would bench Maddison between all of those. Maddison. Apaya says, buy Maddison. I wouldn't be buying him. He's a doubt for the game. He had an injury and he might be back, but he might not play. Dan Peterson says Faroe Islands. I think his stream's like half an hour behind when I asked where you're all from. But good to know. Thank you, Dan, from Faroe Islands. And Nana King of the Week. Yeah, let's talk about King of the Weeks then. So some of you actually got it last game week. Some of you did get it. It was in Bumo, 16-pointer. Guesses in the chat. Who do you think it's going to be this week? Well done to all of you that guessed in Bumo last week. Who's it going to be this week? The top scorer of Game Week 3 we're looking for. My chat's frozen as well, I think. Oh no, chat's just moving mad. Oh my days. Chat's moving so fast, I think we've broken YouTube. Oh my... Hang on. John Cena, Chilwell, Jackson, Alvarez, don't say Udogie. I can't be dealing with that when he's first on my bench. Son. Safe Rouge says, what 7 mil striker do you recommend? I'm stuck. Jackson if you can get to him, otherwise Alvarez. Haaland. Oh, that's a brave pick. Oh, that's a very brave of you to say Haaland. No, that's probably right, to be honest. Jackson, Haaland, Sterling. Sterling, haven't even talked about him. Super differential. Jamaica, I think that's from earlier. South Africa, I think that is as well. Diaby, Foden, Morris. I better not be Morris. I'm done if it's Morris. Because if it's Morris, then that means no Chilwell clean sheet. Definitely no Chilwell clean sheet if it's Morris. Reed Varn says Eze or Ake, and then I'll have 4 defensive Ake. Eze. Visser or Jackson to start. Jackson. Madueke. Martinelli. Wouldn't mind that. Sterling. Chris Wood masterclass. Imagine. Right, I haven't even asked yet. If you guys are enjoying the stream so far, we've got 300 likes. Everyone hit like. Let's get it to 1k. And obviously, if you enjoy the stream, hit subscribe. I do these every deadline, and I prepare lots of content to run through. And I make FPL videos throughout the week as well, so subscribe for that. So you got it on your YouTube feed. Right. Who is your captain? 88% Haaland. 12% not Haaland. Oh, no, it's gone down. 11% now. 11% not Haaland. If you are on not Haaland, who's your captain? Tossie says Enzo at 5 mil, more advanced on set pieces, fixtures. I don't hate it. I don't hate the Enzo pick at all. But I do think there's so much value in midfield. Do we really want to use a spot on Enzo? Maybe if your front three is something like Haaland, Jackson, Alvarez, but I feel like Enzo's not worth it unless you're playing a midfield 4. Like, do you really want to start a 5 mil mid every week? It could be a good pick, but I don't know. I don't know if I would want him for 5 mil and be starting him every week. But maybe that's just the low price tag. Like, the psychology of him being 5 mil makes me think he's a worse pick to start every week. Who remembers how good Andreas was last season? He got like 2 goals, 9 assists or something. And he was just so perfect for the bench. But because of the price, we just kept benching him. And there was like lots of games where he was actually good to start. And he put up a couple of double-digit hauls. FPL Dazzle, thanks for the super chat, mate. And thanks for your comment on the video earlier as well. Appreciate that. Thank you. Johnny says the background music is fire. It's really good, isn't it? It's a copyright-free playlist from Harris Heller. I didn't know how that all worked when I did my first ever stream, and I just played I think I played my Summer Tunes playlist, and then I got a copyright strike straight away. What am I drinking? Tango Apple. What's the GOAT of soft drinks? What do you think is the GOAT of soft drinks? Get your answer in the chat. I've got a beer here as well, actually. I might crack it open during the stream. Hawkston Lager. I've got it on standby if I'm struggling between Gabriel and Udogie. Start Udogie or Trent. So the GOAT of soft drinks. Miranda Strawberry. That is a left field shout from Alex. Miranda Strawberry. Coke, Dr. Pepper, orange juice, Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max Mango. Didn't know they did a mango one. Dr. Pepper, goat soft drink. Alright, let me just double check Twitter, see if there's anything I've missed. Important to remember that Gabriel came on. There's no it comes on if he particularly fast a few guys ahead. Interesting. Vimto. Vimto's a good shout. I love a Vimto. Bud Light. Which team do I support? I'm an Arsenal fan. Thai milk tea. Haven't heard of that. Awani. What's that for the king of the game week? Is Maddison playing? We don't know 100%. Postecoglou said he's available, but he might not, basically. So it's not clear. Yeah, I'll keep an eye out in case we get any Chelsea leaks. We might find out something. I think it's going to be a pretty predictable Man City lineup, to be fair. Did I say Man City? Chelsea. Mbumo or Mitoma? Mbumo. You type so fast. I type really fast. I type something like 120 words per minute. I grew up playing games like RuneScape where you had to type really fast. Can I do a live typing test? Should I do a live typing test to prove? Start test. You ready for this? And then we'll get back to FPL. Oh no, I started the test already. Close. Analyzing results. 0. Excellent. Start test. Alright, here we go. Deep breath. I've got the mic in the way as well. Oh no, mistake already. Choking. Some animals cannot walk backwards. No. So much harder when you're live. And emus, though it is unclear why that is the case. A blue whale is the biggest animal in the world. What is this text? Water and land. It is so big that most elephants, the second largest animal in the world, weigh less than the tongue of a blue whale. Oh no, it's still more. Smiling seems to, how long left? Be an inborn ability. It is consistently seen in blind people who can... I'm sweating. That was bad, wasn't it? Yeah, that was bad. 88. 88 words per minute. Used monkey type, the best typing interface. Yeah, I completely bottled that. The thing is, I've got my mic here. I don't know if you can see, but I was like going around the mic like this. Oh, that was hard work. That's still like 1.2 words a second. I don't know. Despite all of that, very impressive. I still don't know who to start, Gabriel or Udogie. I'm no closer to the answer. I'm going to have to open the beer. Mitoma or Ferguson? Mitoma. That was excuses, I know. Any team news? Not in terms of the Chelsea game. I can skip through the bits we did earlier from the press conferences and then just pause and rewind. That was the Sheffield United news about Baldock basically back in training. Man City, Bernardo Silva trained pretty much is all that there was to say there. Man United, Holland's not back yet. Luke Shaw and Mount are out long term. Tottenham, Maddison trained unrestricted. It's going to see how he holds up. At the moment he's available, so it sounds like a late call Maddison. Arsenal news, Arteta says Jesus is ready to go and Gabriel is a really important player for us. Useless info on Gabriel, but there we go. Trent is available. Konate's a doubt. I'm speedrunning this as well now. And Cisse long-term injury. What was the other Brighton news? And that Ferguson's going to start. So that was the news roundup. Right. School starts again on Monday. Does it really? Oh, that sucks. There's nothing worse than the school holidays coming to an end. The summer holidays. That's crazy. Pinnock or Gabriel? Pinnock. Best goalkeeper for 4.5 mil. Certainly not Pickford. Who am I not thinking of? Probably Sanchez. Yeah, Sanchez. Has to be Sanchez. Yeah, if I was on a wild card, I would have Sanchez or Edison. It'd be one of those two. Don't know about Johnston. Aren't they being linked with Dean Henderson? Besides, Chelsea got better fixtures, so 100% I would go Sanchez. I think Pochettino was even asked about the new goalkeeper signing, and he was like, "Who?" And then they were like, "The new keeper you just signed," and he said, "Oh, I didn't even know about that." So I don't think whoever this keeper signing is immediately in Pochettino's plans. So I would say Sanchez. FPL1 says, start Udogie, in my opinion. Prioritise which one to transfer. Foden in for Eze or Martinelli. Diaz or Gusto in for Dunk. Visser in for Pedro. Cheers, Oscar. I don't think you need to sell Eze or Martinelli this week. So it depends if you have to start Dunk or not. I would probably do the Dunk move. Probably the Dunk move, because that frees up, what, 1 mil? And then, you know, you might be able to go Visser, Jackson instead of Visser. I'm not sure Visser's the right one. He's a great pick, but I think you might want someone like Jackson or Alvarez even more. So that buys you another week. If you have to start Dunk, I'll do the Gusto move. Start Eze or Henry. I would go Eze. Janaki says cats are greater than dogs. Outrageous. What do you guys think? Cats or dogs? Or other? Oh, I still can't decide Gabriel or Udogie. I'm trying to like look around online for inspiration, but I just don't know. I might have to do another poll and then let you guys decide which way. I feel like it's so close. Flandy, Flecken, Pedro, Udogie and Gusto. Is that a bench boost for -4? For -4, I don't know if I'd want to do a -4 to bench boost in a single game week. So probably not, to be honest, Flandy. That bench probably will do well without the -4, but I wouldn't take a -4 in a single game week to bench boost. Because if anyone misses out for some unexpected reason, then you're immediately down. You're immediately down a player. You know, João Pedro might not start. You don't know. 100%. Rio, thanks for becoming an FPL Focal member as well. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks very much, Rio, for the support. If anyone else wants to become a member, it's the join button below the stream. You get access to a channel on Discord, early access to videos, badged by your name and some stuff like that. Gabriel or Botman? Gabriel. Botman's got Liverpool, right? I wouldn't start Botman. Right, what was I asking? Cats or dogs? Cats, dogs, cats. Chat's pretty divided. Dogs are not even close. Mine's literally right here looking at me. Can I take a photo of this and somehow get it on the stream? I reckon I can actually... If I email this to myself... And then I'll show you Teddy. He made a little appearance in a video this week. I don't know how that was received, by the way, if you guys were like, what the hell? Because when I was taking your questions for like Gameweek 3, someone asked cats or dogs. I think it was David. Sometimes I get like questions that make no sense, but I just include them anyway to keep it light. Here it is. Paste that in. I think I got it. Oh, it's struggling though. Is it lagging? This is the slowest upload ever. It's like I'm on dial-up internet. Oh, it's good to see the Teddy emojis in the chat. Alright, there is some love for Teddy after all. News about Gabriel. Basically no news at all. Someone asked about whether he's leaving, and Arteta just said he's a very important player to us, so no news at all. Is Foden out? No. The only news from today's presser was basically that Bernardo Silva's trained. But I'll keep an eye out for leaks. People are asking about Jackson. I'm fully expecting him to start. It's just like, who would even start if it's not him? He has to start. I think it's sideways, this photo I took. Oh, it is. Oh no. This is what I'm seeing right now while I'm streaming, but the photo is sideways. This is live from my bedroom. He's getting a bit chubby. Oh. That is the look of a Gabriel owner. Fellow Gabriel owner. I know, man. It's not easy. I'm right there with you. Captain Saka or Chilwell? I think this is not a week to overthink captaincy. You know, you might get lucky with someone like Chilwell or Saka, but I wouldn't. I mean, let's look at the projected points from review. They've got Haaland top. They're still pretty bullish on Rashford and Fernandes, but I don't think this is a week to get clever, especially when there's a decent gap there, 0.5 projected points EV. So I can't see it. It has to be Haaland, in my opinion. There's no way I don't go Haaland this week. To be honest, he's probably going to be my permanent captain for like the next 5 weeks. You know, unless he's injured or something. Other than that, it has to be Haaland, I think. Odegaard and Saka are up there. Jackson, good to see him up there. Chilwell, Martinelli, Sterling. Anyone looking at Sterling? Super differential. And Bumo. Sneeba says, how much would your dog be priced on FPL? Is he a good option? What do you guys reckon? I think... Hang on, let me quickly make this. Do that. There you go, quick mock-up. There you go, 15 mil, I reckon. Got the away kit on as well for Arsenal. I reckon he'll be the most expensive player of all time in FPL. You know what? Haaland, on that subject, Haaland should have been 15 mil. Look at his ownership. It's just like ridiculous. It's ridiculous that he's 91.3% owned. By far the highest we've ever seen. So every week it's like a 10-player game. It's just the other 10 players have to do well. You know, and if you bet elsewhere on captaincy and get it wrong, it's just such a brutal red arrow if Haaland does well. So, yeah, Haaland should have been 50 mil. Then it would have been more of a decision. Tiro says, do I start Udogie, Gusto or Henry? Out of all of those, I would start Gusto myself. Jesus or Nketiah? I would go neither. Neither right now. Nketiah probably starts, but Jesus is going to come back in maybe next week against Man United. So I would go neither. Alright, we've got under an hour to the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. If you're enjoying the stream so far, hit like on it. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. What's Foden's expected points? Let's see. I'll tell you now. I think his is always a bit lower because his minutes are a bit up in the air. Where is he? 5.0. So he was just slightly off that screenshot. Gusto or Henry? Gusto. Udogie or Walker? Walker. João Pedro or Chilwell? Chilwell. Is Jota worth keeping? I would be inclined to sell for Mbumo if you haven't got him. Or Saka. Otherwise, you can give him another week. Last year I captained Tony when he got 1 point and Haaland got 23. This is what I mean. And last year was pretty bad. This year it's even worse. Like, you have to have some serious guts to go like captain Jackson or Chilwell. Matthew says Maddison or Nketiah. Nketiah, just about. I would say Nketiah. Probably starts, and then maybe next week Jesus comes in. Yeah, I think Nketiah is the one there. Abdullah Jalil, thanks for the 1 month. He says best Man City defender to replace Shaw. My favourite would be Ruben Diaz. I noticed Vic Kramjit also asked that. Yeah, Ruben Diaz would be the one if I was selling Shaw for a Man City defender. Vardiol's an interesting one, but I would say Ruben Diaz is the one. Billy Rackle says hello. Hello, Billy. Walker or Vardiol? Vardiol. Starting Gabriel. I am, yeah. Very reluctantly. I am a bit worried. You know, there is potential for Arteta to go Kivior. He's left-footed centre-back. That could happen. He could go Zinchenko, Saliba, White and Partey, for example. That would be a bit risky, but we know there's a chance we see that. Jody says Salah and Asula to Foden and Jackson. Thoughts? Yeah, I love it. Good moves. I would do that, 100%. Strong moves, that. Pedro to Jackson from -4. Not from -4. I would just make that move for free next week. Start Gabriel or Eze. Eze. Would you change Martinelli for Foden? I thought about it, but I ultimately decided against it, so no. Unless you're in a position where you've got 2 transfers and absolutely no way to spend them, maybe then. But even then, you know, Fulham rock bottom in the league for expected goals conceded, so that's a move I would be hesitant to make. So yeah, for me personally, no. Is Wan-Bissaka worth it for 4.6? Now that's an interesting one now, because my answer until yesterday, and before yesterday, would be no. But maybe he's worth a shout now, because Luke Shaw's out for potentially months. So that probably means Dalot plays left back, I imagine. Maybe Mitchell if he's available. I don't know if Mitchell's around or not. So he's an interesting one for 4.6 mil. I don't hate it, but I would put some other 4.6 defenders ahead. I would put Caldwell ahead, Henry, Botman, probably Gusto. So he's not a bad shout, but I wouldn't do it. Russell says Salah to Foden and Archer to Isaac, Alvarez or Jackson. Yeah, same as the one just before you actually. I would go Jackson out of those 3. They're all good options, but I would say Jackson. And you've got something to cheer on tonight. What are you going to do with Shaw? Asked Joshua. Yeah, this week I can afford to just leave him in. Next week I might sell him. I'm looking at something like... Can I pull up transfers? Is that going to work? Let me see if I can do this. There we go. Yeah, next week I could do something like Shaw to Trippier. And then I just need to lose 1 mil from somewhere. So that could be like Rashford to Mbumo, for example. I'll have 2 transfers next week. There's no point doing that now because it's a -4 and Trippier's got Liverpool. But next week, I think people are sleeping on Trippier. Let's not forget last season. 1 goal, 9 assists, 16 clean sheets, 198 points. He almost then ended up in the all-time FPL Dream Team. Even if he ends up with like 170, that'd still be great value for 6.5 mil. And the fixtures finally turn here. So yeah, I'm really looking at Trippier. I think he's being pretty overlooked. So that's a move I could make next week to get rid of Shaw. But yeah, it's never ideal when you're on the back foot and you've just got fires to put out. But that's where I am at the moment. So Shaw's fine this week. I'll leave him in. Even if he drops 0.1 mil, I'll just ride it out. I rode out the price fall with Gabriel, so I'll do the same with Shaw. Norla Ninjans says, love the content. Is a wildcard viable having 2 red injuries and no Chelsea? And Salah's blocking my money as well. I would be very hesitant to wildcard this early myself. But it depends if you've used your transfers already and you've got 2 red injuries and no Chelsea. You know, for example, if you could just do Salah to Foden, I don't know who the red injuries are, and then go João Pedro to Jackson, for example, in 2 moves. Even for a -4, I would rather do that than wildcard. I don't know who your red injuries are though. You know, if you're playing 2 defenders this week and everyone else is out or won't play, then it's something I'd consider. It's hard to answer without knowing your whole team though. But you know, BTPP in the chat says I would just -8 if I were you. Yeah, I would do whatever I could to avoid wildcarding this early, unless you're really in a bad way. But it's hard to answer that without knowing your whole team. But it's the most powerful chip, so I'd be reluctant to use it this early. How are we doing, Hayden? Gabriel or Botman? Gabriel. Vignesh says, absolutely love the content, mate. Thank you for that, Vignesh. I'll still read all your comments, so thank you for all the good comments you left this week. I don't miss a single comment. Obviously, I can't reply to all of them. I wish I could, but I still read, honestly, every single one. I know some of you try and catch me out. You leave comments like, just checking if you're reading this. The answer is yes. Try and catch me out. John says, Oscar, what were the big changes that FPL said they were making this year? There's a new format coming. A new game mode coming. Not out yet. That's what they announced. The Premier League announced the new game mode's coming. So keep an eye out for that. I don't know when, but at some point this season. They announced it, so yeah, that's 100% coming. Start Henry or Udogie? Henry. Jago says, just checking if you're reading this. I am. Can confirm. Estu or Chilwell? Surely there's someone else you can bench. There's no way you want to be benching one of Estepinian and Chilwell. If I had to pick one to start, Chilwell. If that's who to transfer in, Chilwell as well. But I wouldn't be benching Estepinian. I'd do whatever I can to start him. Thank you, Reba. Appreciate that. Can I see the clean sheet odds, please? You certainly can. They are here. Man City top, 58% chance. Chelsea, 51.5%. Arsenal, 49.5%. Man United are up there. Fulham and Sheffield United, rock bottom with an 8.5% chance. Good news, those of you that have got Chelsea players involved tonight. Luton have been given just a 9.5% chance of keeping a clean sheet. I was really impressed by Sterling last week, actually. I felt like he was Chelsea's best player. So I think he's a sleeper pick as well. Super differential. Alright, let's have a look at the most transferred players. So, top this week isn't Bumo. You can't read the names, I realise. I'll just tell you who's there. This is second. And then it's Estepinian, Chilwell, Mitoma, March, Akanji, and then you can see the rest. Foden, Saliba. So the 2 Brighton lads, in Bumo and Vissa, the top transfers in. Estepinian, the most transferred in defender. Chilwell not far behind. Romero. Interesting. Right, most transferred out, just quickly, and then we'll get back to it. Stones is top. It's pretty much injury or rotation risk, isn't it? Stones, Shaw, James, Chilwell, Gabriel, João Pedro, Rashford. Oof. I don't know about selling Rashford and Bruno before Forest at home. I know they've been pretty poor, but as I said earlier, by the way, Rashford's top in the league for non-penalty expected goal involvement, so I'd be very reluctant to sell Bruno. He's a hold in my eyes, and that's why I'm holding him. Start Rico Lewis or Gabriel. I think Rico Lewis is even more of a question mark than Gabriel, so I would start Gabriel. Gusto or Gabriel? Gusto. Saka or Alvarez for vice captain? Saka. I've got Saka vice myself. Any poll ideas? Anything you guys want me to poll? If you've got a poll idea, let me know in the chat. It has to be something like broad and general. Nothing too specific. What about how many transfers have you made? Or 1, 2, 3 plus, I guess, is if you're on a wild card. Get your votes in. Any leaks? I don't know if we'll get anything. I'll keep an eye out, but I don't think we'll get anything. Team News and Ticks is obviously a reliable guy, but he tweeted just now saying no pre-deadline team news from me today. I don't often get Chelsea early, but I'll keep an eye out. What's this one here? Chalobah wants to join Bayern. Well, that's no good for us. No, I don't know if we'll get anything. Gabra or Dogi? I'm still can't decide. I think I'm going to leave Gabriel in. I've got the same two, same dilemma. I've got Gabriel in at the moment. Maybe, you know, this is a game that we're expecting Arsenal to wrap up, so maybe he doesn't come on if he's benched. You know, he's come on when they're trying to see out games, right? So maybe if he gets benched again, then he doesn't come on unless, you know, Arsenal are a man down again or struggling. But with Tomiyasu out and Timber out, it's the likeliest he's going to start. So I'm starting him. Fulham 1-0. Alright, someone ban whoever said that. Ian Rollins says he's got 0.4 mil in the bank and 2 4-mil defenders. Should he go Gabriel to Gusto, Gabriel to Saliba, or Bayer to Gusto? I think I like Gabriel to Saliba more because that's a longer term pick, and you don't want to have 3 4-mil defenders. That's a bit light at the back. So Gabriel to Saliba I like the most out of those. Bayer to Gusto maybe, but I don't know what the chances are of this happening. But obviously Burnley have got this postponement already. When does that get rearranged to? You know, could that be like Gameweek 7? I think I saw that floated somewhere. Right, sorry. Yeah, so I would just do the Saliba move out of all of those. Jano, I'm live. I can't answer you now. Sahil says... oh, there's no message there. Thanks for that, Sahil. Sorry, Jack. Let me just check that. How long have we got? 43 and a bit minutes till the deadline. Make sure you've sorted out your transfers. Make sure your bench is in the right order. Make sure your captain's on the right player. Vice captain. Jack asked to start João Pedro or Trent. João Pedro or Trent. I think I'd start João Pedro between those two. I'm backing Liverpool to concede, so you're counting on an attacking return from Trent. So I would say João Pedro. Is Matoma to Sterling a totally crazy idea? It's not crazy. Like, Sterling's got a better fixture run. But do you really want to bench or sell Matoma after he's returned in his first 2 games? And I think he's top in the league for expected assists, if I'm not mistaken. 1.3 expected assists already. We know that Ferguson's going to start. That might be good news as well, because Matoma loves a cutback, and I feel like he's missed a few of those cutbacks because there's no one there. And I think Ferguson likes those, so I wouldn't personally make that move. There is a chance that Sterling really does well from here on, but I don't know if I'd sell Matoma. He's given you no reason to sell him at all. Hasn't Sterling blanked in both games? I know it's the same with Jackson, but it's a different situation. We're selling João Pedro in many cases for that. I don't think I'd be selling Mitoma. Harrison Lowe says start Visser or Bruno. Bruno out of those two. John says, Oscar, what are the chances Salah goes to Saudi? I think Klopp said today there's no way it's happening. So based on Klopp's word, I would say not happening. I feel like this close to the window closing as well, it just wouldn't happen. That's the sort of transfer that needs to happen earlier in the window, not this late. I'd be amazed if Liverpool did that. And it would be really bad, in terms of the intent they're showing and heading into the season if they sold their best player, really. No Chelsea leaks. I'll keep an eye out just in case, but I don't think there's a chance of getting anywhere. But I'll keep an eye out. Sahil asks Salah, Rashford and Eze to Foden. Got 2 free transfers and Pedro. Out of all of those, probably Salah. Probably Salah. And I like that it gives you a lot of money in the bank where you can pretty much do any move you want next week. If you decide you don't want Eze next week either, then your options are open in terms of selling Eze. I think Salah to Foden makes a lot of sense this week. If I had Salah, I think it's a move I would make. And I think a lot of people are doing it as combination moves, like Salah to Foden, and then you could go any forward to Jackson or to Alvarez. Andrew says Eze or James Ward-Prowse. Eze. Jordan says, hi Oscar, Gvardiol or Akanji to buy? If I had to pick one, Gvardiol. Sanchez in goal, thoughts? Yeah, he's my favourite of the 4.5 mil mids. I was saying earlier, he's my favourite of the cheap keepers now. If I was on a wild card, I would have Sanchez or Edison. One of those two. Start João Pedro or Martinelli? I think you have to start Martinelli against the team with the worst expected goals conceded in the league. It might not play out how you want, but on paper that makes sense. I suppose João Pedro starts now and Cisso's injured, but that's not guaranteed either. Could be Lallana, it could be Ferguson and Welbeck together. Oh, so the poll results. How many transfers have you made? 14% are rolling, 4%. 35% are making 1. 38% are making 2. 13% are making 3 for a -4 or more. That's surprisingly high. Are you keeping Gabriel? Yeah, reluctantly I am this week. I've spent 1 transfer, for those of you that missed it. I've gone João Pedro to Jackson. I had exact money to do that. So I did that before he went up in price last night. And yeah, reluctantly I'm going to take 2 transfers into Gameweek 4. Because that keeps my options really open. Any of this midfield could leave my team next week. That's how open the options are. But also I've got Shaw to deal with, who really annoyingly got injured I think yesterday or this week. So that's really annoying. I'm going to have to sell him at some point. So that's an option as well. I could sell one of these mids to Mbumo and then go Shaw to Trippier. So that's also an option. I'm not ruling it out. Using 2 transfers next week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to use 2 transfers next week, but I just don't know which way. So that's why I've spent 1 transfer on Jackson, and then I'll take 2 into Game Week 4. Donald says, hi Oscar, bench one of Rashford, Mitoma or Martinelli. Oh, that's an awful one. That is awful. Probably Rashford. But not Mitoma. I think it's Rashford or Martinelli. But, you don't want to be setting yourself up to having to make decisions like that, because it's inevitably you're gonna have a haul on your bench. Like, it happens when you have a haul on your bench, but it needs to be cheaper players. Like in my case, Udogie could do well. That could happen. I benched his clean sheet last week. He got 5. Not the end of the world, but benching one of like Rashford or Martinelli is just a nightmare in the making. But I would go Rashford. Blair, thanks for the super chat. Says thanks for the stream. Got Shaw and Salah with nothing in the bank. 1 transfer. Diaz and Chilwell and Sterling Foden for -4 or just 1. Yeah, I would do both. I would go Shaw to Chilwell, Salah to Foden. That's worth a -4 in my eyes. What's all the emojis coming out of the heart? Can you guys see that? Is that just like a live reaction? I never noticed that. Interesting. Is that you guys doing that right now? Or those I've got all the emojis coming out of it. Is that you guys? I think I missed super chat. Harry, thanks for the 2 months. Says Eze or McAllister. Isn't McAllister? Oh no, it was overturned, wasn't it? The red card. Eze though. Eze either way. Cash Healy says start Pedro or Gabriel. I would go Pedro between those two. Back the upside. Back the upside of the attacker. Any leaks? I don't think so. I'll keep an eye out in case something comes last minute, but I don't think we'll have anything. I'm expecting the Chelsea lineup to be pretty much as expected. There's a good Twitter account called Jump the Wave. She pulls together fan predictions each week. And I'll find the Chelsea one if I can. Oh, it's got the Arsenal prediction here. That's interesting. It does have Gabriel in there. Where's Chelsea? I don't think there's a graphic on this one. Jump the Wave is her username. This is the Chelsea prediction, if you can see that. No, you probably can't. Jump the Wave. It's got the names at the bottom, and then it marks a 1 if someone predicted it, going across row by row. So yeah, there's barely any variety in here. I guess the only variety is who starts with Chukwuemeka out. They've pretty much all said Gallagher, 97% Gallagher, 30% said Maatsen. I don't think there's going to be any surprises in Chelsea's lineup tonight. I mean, they've got so many injuries anyway. I've got a predicted Arsenal lineup if you guys want to see that. From Clayton Fernandez. He does good articles on Arsenal every week, and this is the lineup that he's gone for. So he's got Zinchenko, Gabriel, Saliba and White. So that's last season's back four. Havertz, Rice, Ødegaard. So no Partey. Martinelli, Nketiah and Saka. I would pretty much agree with this. I really thought Trossard would have got a start at some point in the last two. Maybe he'll go 3 without, but I think that's harsh because Trossard's been quality. But yeah, that's the Arsenal prediction. Not a leak, that's a prediction. Dan says start one of Szoboszlai, Estepinian and João Pedro. Estepinian out of those 3. John says it's love for your channel. Thanks, appreciate that. We've been caught. It's just as well they give you 5 default emojis. Imagine some of the emojis that be popping up in that corner if they let you guys run riot with it. Oh, I just received a DM. Jackson starts. I mean, that was, yeah, that's like as expected, but I've received a DM from someone who's in the group chat. They said Jackson starts. But yeah, I expected that anyway. That's very predictable. How we doing, Jay? Yeah, I'll ask about Chilwell as well. Is there any other players you guys want to know about? I'll ask Gusto as well. I guess a lot of you have got Gusto. But yeah, he said Jackson starts. Right, I've asked about Chilwell and Jackson. Jeffrey says, hi Oscar, good day from Canada. No one's talking about Colwell this week. I get him in for Gabriel. Is it a mistake? Not at all. I think he's a great option. Colwell. I was talking about him earlier. When we were talking about Gabriel replacements and the best 4.5s, Colwell is probably my favourite of all of them. Botman, Henry, all good. Gusto. But obviously Colwell's a longer term pick. Gusto might have 3 or 4 games, and then James could be back. So I'll keep an eye out if they say anything else. I've asked about Chilwell and Gusto. Chilwell starts. Chilwell starts, Jackson starts, he said. I mean, it's as expected, but is there anyone else you guys want to know about? Ask Colwell. Okay. Alright, I've asked about Colwell. Madueke? Surely no one's buying Madueke. It'd be Sterling, won't it? Or maybe Sterling left wing. Actually, that's a good point. What's the line? What's the front three going to be? Sterling will definitely start. There's no way Sterling doesn't play. He said Chilwell starts. He said Jackson starts. I've asked about Gusto and Colwell as well. So if there's any other Chelsea leaks, I'll let you guys know. Oh, he's got the stream on. I almost said your name then. I almost said your name out loud then. He's watching the stream. That's a gender reveal. I need to be careful what I say. Don't want to get him in trouble. Jackson or Sterling? I think it's got to be Jackson between the two. I don't mind the Sterling pick either though, but I think Jackson. I know he's blanked twice in a row, but his underlying numbers are actually solid. He's 4th among all forwards for expected goals, despite the 2 blanks. He said, did you just assume my gender? Alright, I'm not saying anything more on that. Well, they said, sorry. Not he said. Got my foot in it now. There's no Gabriel news, really. For those asking about Gabriel, Arteta wasn't really asked much about Gabriel. All he said was he's a really important player for us. But this wasn't even really in reference to whether he starts or not. It was more in reference to whether he could leave or not. So pretty useless in terms of Gabriel news. We don't know. I did ask around earlier in case there was anything we could know before tomorrow, but the answer was no in terms of his chances. Don't know either whether Jesus starts. We're not going to know if Jesus and Gabriel starts. We just won't know now. Missed the Pedro to Jackson due to the price rise. Who's the next best? Next best, I would say, is Alvarez. And then probably Visser. In that order. Any more poll ideas that I can run? We've got over 2,000 tuned in. If there's any more Chelsea leaks, I'll relay them to you guys. But if you've got any poll ideas, anything we can ask while we've got loads tuned in, then I'll let you know. Oh, the Chilwell news is just coming out now. Chilwell starts. Nikesh says, Shaw to Diaz, Vardiol from -4 or start Henry. No, just start Henry. Not worth a -4. Man City defender poll. Yeah, that's a good one. But who would be the options? Best Man City defender. Who are the options? Ruben Diaz. I should put Dubin Riaz. Ruben Diaz, Vardiol. But who after that? Akanji and other? I don't know if those are the best options. Should I have put other? Don't know. Who would the other be though? I don't think Walker's a good pick. Pineapple on pizza? Surely not. Disgraceful thing to put on pizza. Absolute disgrace. I had pizza yesterday. Actually, just a margarita. Pretty boring. But it wasn't for me, to be fair. It was my girlfriend. She came around like like 8 o'clock and hadn't had dinner, so got a pizza. Pedro or Eze? Eze. Bench Mitoma or Maddison? Bench Maddison. If you haven't got the money for Nicholas Jackson, I think Alvarez is the next best option, and then Visser. Any news on Gusto? Not sure. I've asked. I'm not sure. I have asked about Gusto. And I've asked about Colwell. Can't remember who else I asked about. If there's anyone else you want me to ask about, let me know. I think I asked about Sterling. Formation poll. That's a good one. Let's just check the poll results on that. So best Man City defender. Vardiol's in first. Not by much. 36%. Then Ruben Diaz, 32%. And then Akanji. And then 8% other. Okay, let's do a formation one. That'd be interesting, actually. What formation are you playing? So 3-5-2, 3-4-3, and then I guess what would be after that? 4-4-2 and other. Just trying to think what the most popular would be. So yeah, Chilwell starts, Jackson starts. That's everything we know so far. I asked about Colwell and Gusto and Sterling, I think. I mean, he said he's watching the stream right now, so if I didn't ask you that, message me if you know the answer. But yeah, that's good news if any of you are waiting last minute on Chilwell or Jackson. 4-5-1. Really? Are people playing that? I suppose so. If you've got João Pedro and you don't want to start him, or two 4.5 mil forwards. I'm going to be keeping an eye on Archer this week. I don't know if he's going to play this week for Sheffield United, but going forwards, because they've signed him from Aston Villa, if he breaks through to the starting 11, he'll be such an awesome pick for 4.5 mil. Oscar, if you had Havertz, would you do the Foden transfer? Yeah, I would. I would if I could do that in one move, yeah. Is Pochettino watching? He may or may not be my source. But yeah, Pochettino does tune into these deadline streams, and sometimes he'll just pop in with some leaks of his own team. It's just a bit of a ledge like that. Disassi. I don't see any reason to get Disassi over Colwell though, and I think he's even gone up. So isn't he 5.1 mil now? John says, guys, can we get 1,000 likes? Come on. Yeah, you heard John. We're at 695, so there's well over 2,000 watching. So if you've enjoyed the stream so far, hit like on it if it's been useful. Subscribe to the channel. I do weekly streams, and obviously we cover off any leaks and last minute news. For better or worse, the leaks are a big part of the game now. So I do regret missing the Saliba one, or not acting on it back in Gameweek 1. Chili Outfit says, good stream, bro. Appreciate that, Chili. Thank you, mate. I've asked about Gusto and whether he starts, and Colwell. I think they both do. Like I said earlier, I don't think it's going to be a surprise in Chelsea lineup, but they've got a lot of injuries. Mudrik's out, so that's good news for those of you that have got Chilwell, because Chilwell should be very advanced throughout the game. Talked lots about him in recent videos. His average position and his touch heat map is honestly ridiculous. If you put Martinelli and Chilwell's touch heat map side by side, you honestly wouldn't know who is who, because they're like the same area. Right, where did I get to? Sam says, start Gusto or Pedro. I think I'd start Gusto. I'm really backing Chelsea to keep a clean sheet tonight. I think it's going to be a 3-0, maybe a 4-0 type result. So I would say Gusto. Mo Omar says, hey Oscar, good to see you again for the new season. He's got Shaw, Gabriel and Baldock. He's in one free transfer to bring in Jackson. Should Elsie use one to change the defence? So he's got Shaw, Gabriel and Baldock. So I'm guessing you're saying you've got two defenders that you're starting, regardless, but then you have to start one out of Gabriel and Baldock, because Shaw's out injured. Gabriel's a question mark. So yeah, I'd be very tempted to do Shaw out. Yeah. So in terms of replacements, I think Colwell's a good option. Ruben Diaz if you want Man City. Saliba's still a good pick for 5.2, I think he is. Who else am I not thinking of? Estepinian, if you've not got him. Those are all good options. But yeah, I would do that. Lupo says, because the reason, by the way, is because if Gabriel doesn't play, then you've got basically 10 players, unless Bulldog starts, but it's against Man City. Lupo says, drop one out of Watkins, Saka, and Bumo, Bruno, Mitoma, and Jackson. Oh, that is an awful one. It's between Watkins and Mitoma, I think. I definitely wouldn't be benching Saka and Bumo or Jackson, so it has to be Mitoma or Watkins. That's a close one. Probably Watkins, if I had to pick one. It's between Watkins and Mitoma. Definitely not the others. Bruno would start as well. Saka and Bumo, Jackson have to start. It's Watkins or Mitoma. Probably Watkins, just because he's got the away fixture. I mean, he did play midweek as well, but it doesn't mean much at all. Did I miss? Ask it again, Mikkel. Sorry, I missed that. Right, we've got 20 minutes till the deadline. Keep your questions coming. If there's any more Chelsea leaks, then I'll let you guys know. Bench one out of Chilwell, Colwell, Henry, and Estepinian. I would bench Henry out of those four. I think the Chelsea double-up's very strong moving forward. I mean, Chilwell's becoming an increasingly popular pick, so if you go for Colwell as well, then you gain more on the Chilwell owners for when they keep clean sheets. What formation are you playing? 69% 3-5-2, 16% 3-4-3, 9% 4-4-2, and 6% other. Interesting. If you've got any more poll ideas before the deadline, let me know. We've got 20 minutes, pretty much bang on, till the deadline. What about Enzo? Enzo definitely starts. 100% starts. Gabriel or Udogie? Yeah, I've got the same dilemma. I've ended up with Gabriel. It's so close between them. Basically, Udogie's the more reliable pick, but his clean sheet odds are going to be lower. He is slightly more attacking. Gabriel, on the other hand, way higher clean sheet odds, but it's a bit of a question mark whether he starts or not. I think he probably does start. I think he probably does. The only world where he doesn't start is probably if Kyrgios starts. And if that happens, then, what can you do? There's like something else going on behind the scenes that is clearly not tactical. And Arteta was lying. Arteta said it was tactical. And if he's benched a third time, then it's something else is going on. Like something that we don't know about. Like he's trying to force a transfer, or he's had an offer from somewhere that he's considering. So I would say Gabriel surely starts with Tomiyasu out as well. Kenny says Mbumo or March with Sterling, Saka, and Foden. Mbumo, got to be Mbumo. Gabriel or João Pedro? João Pedro. Saliba or Gusto? Saliba. Trent or Semenyo? Trent. Oh no, my girlfriend just messaged saying, sorry, I forgot you were going live and I forgot to do my team. Should I quickly ask her? Send me your team. She's given FPL a go, but starting in Gameweek 2. Just as well, she'll probably be beating me. What rank are you guys? What rank are you right now? What's your overall rank? I bet you 1k that you won't read this comment out loud. I'll take that bet. What is this song? Let's rewind it a bit. 270k, 5 mil, 300k, 20k. That's very impressive this early. 70k, 65k, 3.2 mil. 17k. My rank is wank. 1.5 mil, 7 mil. 10.7k. I'm jealous of anyone who's just outside top 10k 2 weeks in. That's crazy. Lupo says, Vardy and Diaz, percentage chance to start him. I think, honestly, if I was to put a number on it, I would say Diaz 90%, Vardy 75%, but we can use Jump the Wave again, because she gets predictions from actual fans. And, I mean, realistically, they know better than anyone. So let's see what they say on Man City. So what we got here, and this one might just be from Alex MCFC actually. Ruben Diaz 90%. Oh, that's literally. I swear I didn't even see this. Vardy 70%. Ruben Diaz 90%. Lewis 55. Walker 65. I mean, Lewis and Walker look like big question marks. Vardy 70%. Yeah, Ruben Diaz is the one. That's what I said earlier as well. To be fair. $6k rank, fair play. Don't think there's any other leagues. Not been told anything. But obviously, if there's anything else, then I'll let you know. Sterling starts. There you go. There's another one. Lots of viewers asking about Sterling. He starts. So there you go. That's 3 players that we know starts. Sterling, Jackson, and Chilwell. Again, like I said earlier, these are like as expected, really, aren't they? But yeah, Jackson starts, Sterling starts, and Chilwell starts. I asked about Gusto and Colwell, but I'm expecting them all to start, basically. Don't know about Kabore. I don't know if we'll get any Luton news. But yeah, lastly, just to mention it one more time, the transfer I made was João Pedro to Jackson. I've rolled the second transfer, reluctantly starting Gabriel over Udogie. I feel like that one's really close, but yeah, I've started Gabriel. If Gabriel doesn't start with Tomiyasu and Timber out, then something else is going on. It's not tactical, but... Oh, are we back? I just got a pop-up that said disconnection. Are we still live? Beardy says, hey buddy, nice to continue. Thank you, Beardy. I think we're still live. I still see chat coming in. Alright, how long we got? 15 minutes to the deadline. Keep your questions coming in. Hussein is ranked 1 mil. Not bad, not bad. Still live, good. 900k. Not bad at all. Don't know about Gabriel. We're not going to know if he starts this early. It's just not going to happen. In terms of Chelsea, what I've been told, Chilwell, Sterling and Jackson start, but as expected. Maddison's a question mark because he has this injury. Postecoglou said that he trained today unrestricted, and he said we'll see how he holds up, but at the moment he will be available. Someone's chucked the Chelsea lineup in chat. You never know if what you see in chat is reliable, but it's the lineup I would have predicted as well. Gallagher comes in for a Chukwuemeka. So that's wing backs again. Thiago Silva, Disasi, Colwell. And then it'd be Chilwell and Gusto in wing backs. Caicedo, Enzo. So Caicedo comes in for his full debut. He had a mare against West Ham. Trent or Wan-Bissaka? Oh, no, it feels wrong to bench Trent. What did Klopp say about him again? Did he say he's available? Let me find that quote. Yeah, Trent's fit to face Newcastle after picking up a knock against Bournemouth. Oh, you can't bench Trent, can you? I think I'd start Trent. What's the review got him at? Interestingly, review's got Wan-Bissaka ahead. I suppose Wan-Bissaka's more nailed because of the Shaw injury, because Dallo starts in left back now. Oh, it just feels wrong to bench Trent. Like 8 mil to stick him on your bench. What do you guys think? Trent or Wan-Bissaka? I think I'd start Trent still. I think I'd start Trent. I don't know. That's really tough. No, I'd start Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka. Because he's way higher in the clean sheet odds. He's still got an attack and return in him. Liverpool just look like conceding because they've got no defensive mid in the team. They just look so vulnerable without the proper defensive mid. Chelsea proper screwed Liverpool, signing Lavia and Caicedo. I bet the Liverpool board are fuming about that one. They probably won't do any business with one another for years to come now. But no, I'd start Wan-Bissaka. It feels dirty to bench Trent for 8 mil, but I think in that situation I would start Wan-Bissaka because we know he's going to start with Shaw out as well. What's this? Yeah, we know that one already. Chilwell, Jackson. It's translated though, so I don't know who that third player is. Kylul. Is that Colwell? Chilwell, Kylul and Jackson are in the starting lineup. Anyone in chat know Arabic? 90 likes and Oscar give us £1 each. When did I agree to that? I'll be £2 out of pocket. Alright, you know Arabic. Can you translate this for us? I've got a leaks list on Twitter. And they're in it because they're a reliable leaker, but I don't know who the third player is. Chilwell, Jackson and Kylul. Is that Colwell? Who can read Arabic? We know that Sterling starts, so that can't be Sterling though. Is that Colwell? That's Colwell. I thought it was. Yeah, that's Colwell. Chilwell, Colwell and Jackson start and Sterling starts. There you go. Thank you to the Arabic readers in chat. That's a reliable leaker. I've got a list on Twitter where I just keep them all together. So there we go. Jackson starts, Colwell starts. Holy Malboa Gaming with the... Is that 10 gifted? Or has that appeared twice? Thanks so much for that, mate. It's Harry, isn't it? Appinator, Van Deel got one, Virtual got one, MH Gamer got one, and OK got one. Thank you for that, Malboa. Appreciate that, man. Thanks for the support. Means a lot. Hope you're keeping well. Hope you're well. Danny Casey says, is Chilwell captain crazy? I mean, I don't think it's the right week to go against Haaland myself. There is every chance that he smashes it. These are the FPL review projections, the latest projections. They've got Haaland top. Chilwell's in the top 10, but it feels crazy to bet against Haaland when he's got Sheffield United. I mean, tonight could be like a 4-0, but I think City are even likelier to batter Sheffield United. I hate to say if anyone's tuning in who's a Sheffield United fan, so for me, I wouldn't do it. It feels very risky. If that doesn't come off, it's just going to break your season already because he's 91% owned. Is that another 5 gifted from Malboa? Thanks so much, mate. Appreciate that. Thanks, man. Simon got one. Asri got one. Ian Rollins got one. Ethan Brown. Did that come through a mic? There's a train going in the background. Cameron got one. Thanks so much for that. Welcome to the new members. There is a channel on Discord for members. Private channel. You just log into your YouTube account and Discord settings, and the channel appears automatically. And if anyone else is interested in becoming one, the join button below the stream to become a member. You get a little badge by your name. Just did it again. I got a pop-up saying the stream disconnected. Hopefully we're still live. Ryan says, Vardio or Gabriel, what would you suggest? I would need to do a -4 transfer. I'd start Vardio between those two. I wouldn't spend a -4. I would just play Vardiol, if that's what you're saying. Not worth a -4, not at all. Start Vardiol, Gabriel first on bench. Yeah, if I had to pick between the two, I think you have to start Vardiol out of those. The top of the clean sheet odds. No -4 needed there, I would say. Thanks for that, Ryan. If there's any more Chelsea news, I'll let you know. All I've been told is that Sterling starts, Jackson starts, Chilwell starts, and Colwill starts. We've got about 7 or so minutes till the deadline. I mean, I think the Chelsea lineup's going to be as predicted, but let's see. Sterling or Mbeumo? I'd say Mbeumo. On penalties, on set pieces, when Visser comes off at the last 20 or so minutes, he plays striker as well. So it's got to be Mbeumo. I'm looking to bring him in Gameweek 4. Steve in the chat, how we doing? He says, hey mate, Martinelli or Watkins for the long hold? I think Watkins is more of a long hold if you're talking long term. Jackson's kind of a shorter term play. I think next 3 or 4 game weeks, Jackson probably outscores Watkins, but long hold, Watkins I would say is the one. Martinelli, his number's a bit concerning so far. It could be because of Nketiah, but he's taken 2 shots in the first 2 game weeks, which, is pretty worrying to me, Steve-o. But it is only 2 games in, so I'm giving him the Fulham game myself to see what he does. And then if he still looks, I don't know, discouraging, then I'll sell him before Man United. I'd say Watkins is the more long-term hold. Martinelli could leave my team next week. She's ringing me now. Hello, I'm live on YouTube. I'm still alive. Do you need help with your FPL team? Oh, she hung up. I said send me your team, but she didn't send it. Any team leagues. So Jackson starts, Chilwell starts, Sterling starts, Colwill starts. That's everything that we've had. I don't know if there'll be anything else in the next 5. If there is, I'll let you know. I'll tell her that she's got 5 minutes. Diaz or Foden? Foden. Eze or Udogie or Henry? Eze. Gabriel or Henry? Henry. Gabriel or Colwill? Colwill. Foden, Alvarez, City defender. Can only pick 2. Foden and Alvarez, I would say. Maddison or Pedro? Pedro. Eze or Gabriel? Eze. Pick one to buy. Foden, Saka, Mitoma. Foden. Start Gabby over Mitoma or Visser. Big up Focal. Thanks, Connor. Gabby. Gabby? Who's Gabby? Gabriel. Gabby. Can't be Gabriel or Gabriel Jesus. No, I wouldn't start either of them over Mitoma or Visser. Definitely not. Sahil says, got 1 free transfer left. Pedro to Jackson. Yeah, that's worth a free transfer if you can do it in 1. Yeah, I would do that. So, 3 minutes till the deadline. Chilwell reportedly starts. So does Sterling, I was told. Jackson and Colwill. I think that's all of them that we're going to get. I would make your moves now if you still haven't, because you've got 3 minutes till the deadline. You don't want to get priced out. Priced out? You don't want the website to crash. Don't know if João Pedro will start. There's no way we'll know that. Scoreline predictions tonight in the chat. Chelsea versus Luton. What do you guys think? Is Carlton Morris a nice option? I would say yes, but not this week. unless you can bench him. I wouldn't want to play him against Chelsea. Matty RH reckons it's going to be 5-0. Alexander says 2-2-all. Razvan and Faris reckon 3-0. Noctambuli, how we doing, mate? He says 3-1. Asri reckons Luton wins. 8-0. Imagine if it's 8-0 tonight. I'd like to think it'd be a juicy green arrow if it was an 8-0 result. But getting ahead of myself, I think there. 3-0. 6-0, Matty Footy. Malboa says 6-0 Chelsea all the way. Let's go. I hope you're right, mate. That'd be an awesome outcome. Unless Chilwell and Jackson were uninvolved in all of them. 2-0 Luton comfortable win. Who do you support? I'm an Arsenal fan. Who do you guys in chat support? Let me know. Forgot to tweet my team. I better do that as well. I'm going to get stick, as always, for not doing it before the deadline, but there we go. Game week 3. João Pedro. Jackson. What did you all do? Bang. Right. Kate says, come on you Hatters. I think I can see a Luton player in her profile pic. Is that from my website, Kate? I recognise that. That's from, I don't know if you guys know this, but on my website. In fact, I have to plug the website. FPL.page. It's got loads of good stuff in there, like bonus points, top 10k stats, price changes, disaster of the week, which is like the worst score in the top 10k, the Players League, expected data, so you could filter like who's got the best expected goal involvement over the first 2 game weeks, or expected goals, expected assists, total XG, whatever. In Mbumo, 3.41. That is ridiculous, by the way. Bruno is second, by the way, so I'm happy to be keeping Bruno for the Forest game. But yeah, we've got this here. You can create your own FPL kit, like profile pick. So it could be like... That's the wrong way around, but never mind. You get what I mean. And you can just pick like any season. Who remembers the O2 kit? Invincibles kit. Anyway, yeah, so there's that. So it's fpl.page. And with the other thing we just added is dark mode, for those of you that like that. That was highly requested. And we've added a menu so you can go to individual widgets. So this is going to update after the deadline. And we'll be able to see all the transfers that Premier League players made. So I'm hoping that the Arsenal players have got Gabriel starting or something like that. But we'll have to see. It'll be interesting to see. There's loads of players here, so fpl.page, check that out. Completely free, forever. Anyway, that's the deadline, so thank you all for tuning in. Before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit like if you enjoyed it. Is there anyone who you can raid? Maybe FPL Aya? Discord. Yeah, if anyone's not on the Discord, I'll spam that in the chat as well. I'll be on the Discord for the Chelsea game, so that's the Discord link. Is there anyone live we can raid? FPL Aya? He's a really sound guy. I'm hoping to fly out to Ireland for one of the deadlines. So I'm waiting for him to let me know when they're doing like an Ireland meetup. Should we go over to his stream? I've met him a few times. He's proper sound, so maybe we go over to his. Yeah, FPL Aya. Head over there. Spam FPL Focal Raid or Focal Raid in this chat. Tell him Focal sent you. FPL.page for those who's asking about the website. Good luck this game week, everyone, and I will see you on the other side. Focal out.